What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show on a Saturday. We are one day away from a very important, very interesting Bears game coming up on Sunday, which some people are saying trap game. I don't know if it is a trap game. We're going to dive into full injury report, how Philadelphia is looking heading into that game. Could Anthony Harris play? And then also take a look at really what's important in terms of other NFL games at the end of today's show. We always talk about National Football League stuff as a whole, not just the Philadelphia Eagles here, and so be sure to subscribe for that as we're going to get into all the teams that you want Philadelphia to, if you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan, you're hoping that they could win, how the playoff race could go ahead and shape up as well. Let's start, though, with the injury report for tomorrow. This is being the show is being created early on a Saturday morning, and so things can obviously change in terms of injury stuff, but this is where we are at as of right now, which is very early on a Saturday morning. Bleeding Green Nation, very good write-up in terms of who's going to play and who is not. The only DNP right now for Philadelphia was Reed Blakenship. Of course, he's not going to play this week due to the knee injury, but really, everybody else was either rest or even if they were limited, it was just kind of a minor sort of thing. So Philadelphia very healthy going into this game. The question, of course, really is Dallas Goedert, who we'll talk about here in just 1 second. So here, of course, is your Eagle injury report. You see DNP, Blankenship, he will not play on Sunday. Bradbury rest. Sean Bradley has a hamstring, but he was limited. He did not play in last Sunday's win. He will be playing on Sunday. And then the rest of them, right? Brown rest, Cox rest, Dickerson, Graham, Kelsey, Amalu, Slay, Sweat. They're all getting rest. They should all be 100% and able to play. And that, again, continues to be big for Philadelphia. Knock on wood, they've been healthy a lot this year. And even the older guys who get a lot of rest during the regular season, during practices, can be 100% healthy for not only games like this Sunday, but next Saturday's epic matchup against the Dallas Cowboys. Also, full participants, Kyron Johnson. He was out with a shoulder this past week because Watkins has been dealing with a shoulder injury, but really he's healthy and was a full participant. So Philadelphia, really good to go going into Sunday's game. The question is going to be Goedert, although as we'll see in just 1 second, he's trending towards playing, and I bet by the end of today, he'll see an announcement saying he's going to play on Sunday. How much will he play? We'll figure that out in a second, but I think he's going to be pretty much 100%. Okay, Chicago's situation. Justin Fields was upgraded to full go after missing Wednesday practice due to an illness. He will play on Sunday. The question mark, though, is Chase Claypool. You see it here on your screen. Quote, Chase Claypool missed practice for the second day in a row. Not a great sign for his chances of playing this weekend. The Bears are weak at wide receivers, which is why they desperately decided to trade a second-round pick for Claypool. With Claypool potentially out, leading receiver Darnell Mooney on IR, here are the Bears' top remaining wide receivers this season. This is crazy. Look at this. You have Equanimous St. Brown. That's Amon-Ra St. Brown's brother, who's not as good. He's still fine, but 280 for a touchdown. Dante Pettis, remember him? I mean, Dante Pettis was like the talk of the league when he came in. He's done nothing. N'Keal Harry, traded for him. He's done nothing. Byron Pringle. And Velus Jones. I don't even say his last name, so I don't know who that is. Yikes, as they say. From perspective, Zach Pascal's 144 yards and 1 touchdown this year as Eagles' 4th wide receiver. So Pascal would be the 3rd leading receiver on the Bears this Sunday if Claypool is unable to play. So pretty crazy. You do see that David Montgomery reported with an illness. He did not practice, but should be able to play. And their right tackle, Larry Barome, as they say his last name, he was upgraded to limited after not practicing on Wednesday. So really the only question is Claypool here. Montgomery's going to be just fine. And obviously Justin Fields being upgraded as well. Looks like a stomach bug might have been going through the Bears organization. Nothing crazy, but you remember whenever A.J. Brown missed practice with an illness, and he lost 7 pounds because he threw up so darn much, and so that could be a question mark there for David Montgomery. But overall, Philadelphia very, very healthy. That is good news. The question is really going to come down to will Dallas Goedert play or not? And NBC Sports has a good write-up here on the Dallas Goedert situation in terms of activating him off of IR with a chance to go ahead and play. Here was Sirianni on it. Quote, you can't wait until you get him back because he makes a ton of plays. He's a great tight end, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. NFL activated Goedert's practice window. The Eagles activated Goedert's practice window on Wednesday. And while I wouldn't definitely say definitively, goodness say, he'll be good to go on Sunday in Chicago, things are certainly trending in that direction. Goedert said, quote, that's still up in the air, but things are trending in the right direction. Got to go out and practice, see what it feels like at full speed, blocking bigger people than just the trainers. If I was playing the trainers, I could for sure, but some of these guys are a little bit bigger, a little more force coming at you, end quote. So he should be good to go and be able to play, and that is good news for Philadelphia. But as I have said, with the C.J. Gardner-Johnson situation, Devontae Maddox last week, Jordan Davis a couple of weeks ago. Don't rush these guys back. We need them for not only the Cowboy game, we need them for a playoff run. We need them for a deep playoff run. And so if he's not 100%, Stolen Calcaterra been just fine. I think Calcaterra has really flashed. He kind of looked like Goedert did his first year behind Zach Ertz. Maybe not as good, but still, I like what I see from Grant Calcaterra. In terms of the Chicago Bears, let's just quickly state the obvious here. They're a bad football team. Right? They're not a good football team. And Justin Fields has kind of changed the narrative on, Chicago taking Justin Fields over all these other great quarterbacks, passing and all these other players, but he still has not been able to muster wins. And that's been the big problem right now for the Chicago Bears. See there on the left side of your screen. Sure, they put up 29 to the Dallas Cowboys, but they gave up 49. There's a theme here. They put up 32 against the Dolphins. They gave up 35, right? They put up 30 against the Lions. They gave up 31. 24 against the Falcons. They gave up 27, right? You can go through the list here. They keep giving up a ton of points. I mean, more than 27 points in every single game over the 6-game losing streak, which is crazy. 28 to the Packers. They just can't seem to go ahead and stop teams well enough, and so that's why I feel like Philadelphia should be able to roll in this one. Now, there is the whole trap argument, the whole idea that Philadelphia is so focused on the Dallas Cowboys next week, they could overlook the Bears and have kind of a Colts game or a Cardinals game from a couple of months ago. I don't see that happening. I think this is a very clear indication or a very clear game where the better team's just going to roll, and it should be quick, and the hope is maybe you get the starters out of there in the fourth quarter, where there are no injuries, and then you immediately set your sights on a shorter by 1 day week and Saturday night against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I feel really good about the Bears losing. I think Philadelphia's going to win this one. If you guys would agree, you can bet on it with our friends at DraftKings. See it here on your screen, TFN website. Bet $5 and the Eagles get back $150 in free bets if the Eagles win. That's just a straight money line bet. That's all you got to do. You see all the instructions are on your screen right here. Go down below. The link is down below me in the description box. Click on that. If you're in a legal betting state of legal age, you can sign up, create an account, and get to betting on Philadelphia. Let's wrap up here by looking at some of the main matchups taking place not only today, Saturday, and again, this is being filmed before Colts-Vikings and Ravens-Browns and Dolphins-Bills, but also Sunday as well. And it's very, very clear, in my opinion. You want the Vikings to be the 3 seed. You want the Vikings to lose, as I said yesterday. You want the Niners to be the 2 seed. That way you have a better chance of playing the Vikings in an NFC or a divisional round, or Cowboys in the divisional round versus playing the Niners, whose defense is very scary. The Vikings, though, they need a win here. I mean, the Colts defense and the Colts in general haven't been that great this year, but the Vikings have been a little up and down the past couple of weeks. Some close wins against mediocre football teams. Think back to Thanksgiving. Think back to, obviously the Lions game as well. There have been some tough games here for Minnesota. They need to get back on track. Ravens-Browns is a non-factor for anyone in the NFC, but Baltimore, a good chance to kind of keep the grasp there on the division. We talk about Joe Burrow a bunch here on the show, but his team is still trailing the Ravens right now in their division of the AFC. Dolphins-Bills is fascinating. I mean, this is a really interesting game. Snow, freezing temperatures, all the talk this week about the Dolphins not being able to travel into cold weather. They've been practicing, with heaters and stuff in Miami when it's been 50 degrees, blah, blah, blah. This is the Dolphins' last chance. I mean, really, it feels like as long as they keep it close, the respect for the Dolphins will remain. If the Dolphins get blown out on Sunday, abandon ship. Like, the whole Tua experience is probably going to be done. They might keep him next year. I'm not saying they're going to be done with him, but the whole idea that Tua has revitalized his career to the point of being an elite quarterback is probably going to go ahead and die at Orchard Park on Saturday night, but a fascinating matchup tonight on the NFL Network. Philadelphia is a 9-point favorite. It's amazing that the Cowboys were 17-point favorites last week against the Texans, and yet a 3-10 Bears team is less than a 10-point underdog to Philadelphia. I mean, they're on the road. But you'll see in there, sunny, cold, but sunny so far in terms of the AccuWeather forecast. Put on your weatherman hat there with me. Falcons-Saints is a really interesting one here, as all teams in the NFC South are still alive right now for that division win. That division will probably host a playoff game, or they will, and it'll probably be the Dallas Cowboys. So you had a Desmond Ridder starting at quarterback, as well as Marcus Mariota was benched, and then he had a knee scope or whatever it was, and so the Falcons have a chance to, kind of reset their ship right now if Ridder gets on a little hot streak like Brock Purdy has done so far for the 49ers. You root, of course, for the Falcons as well, if you're an Eagle fan, because the Saints losing helps the Eagles draft pick. Lions-Jets, we just got word that it will not be Mike White. He's out with an injury. Kidney area got hit pretty hard on that incomplete pass this past week. It will be Zach Wilson starting at home against Detroit. Fascinating game there. That's a really good early matchup at the 1 p.m. Eastern time slot at MetLife Stadium. Really, really interested in that one because the Lions have been really fun and are trying to kind of squeak into the playoffs as a 7th seed. Also, a 7th seed Lion team versus the Niners could be a really interesting matchup. You take the Niners in that one, but still, Lions offense can score with anybody. Steelers-Panthers is basically a non-factor, minus the fact the Panthers are trying to win the NFC South, so keep an eye on that. This game is fascinating. Oh my goodness, please Doug Peterson, right? Say with me, please Doug Peterson, can you beat the Dallas Cowboys? That would be great. Now, the counter-argument is you kind of want the Cowboys to win, that way they're a little bit bloviated going into the Eagle game, because if they lose to the Jaguars, then they're like hyper-focused on Philadelphia. So, I'll be able to spin this either way. Cowboys win, oh, good, now they'll kind of overlook Philadelphia. Cowboys lose, oh, good, Eagles are further ahead in the division, right? So we can go either way here. Come on, it's just a little bit of fun. Chiefs-Texans, again, crazy that the Texans were 17-point underdogs to the Cowboys, and yet they are only 14-point underdogs to the Chiefs. Whoever did that line last week was an idiot. This is an absolute snooze fest of a football game. Good Lord have mercy. That is terrible. I don't even want to talk about it. Patriots-Raiders is the Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels matchup here, but not really anything exciting. This is another snooze fest of a game. Titans-Chargers is good in terms of the fact that this could be a playoff matchup because Tennessee is still going to win the division despite struggling the past 2 weeks. Bengals-Bucks. Did the Bucks have anything left, right? I mean, if they get killed in this one, then their season's basically done. I know they're still alive, but the whole Brady drama is going to be crazy. So, Jimmy, really curious to see what the Bengals are able to do there on the road at Raymond James Stadium. Finally, Giants versus Commanders. Again, it's a toss-up here, right? I mean, right now, one team is the 6th seed, one team's the 7th seed. They'll just swap places if, win or lose. It's a fun matchup, but it's not really a matchup that matters in terms of who do you want to win, right? Who do you want to play? You want to play the Giants or the Commanders? I'd rather play the Giants in the playoffs, but that's just me. And, of course, Rams, Packers. I mean, come on. These are two hyper underwhelming teams right now, but they were on a bye, and so Green Bay gets to come back and maybe, I don't know, make a run. I doubt it, but there is a chance. Okay, we will go ahead and do a show tomorrow. Probably not a pregame show. Probably going to do a postgame or just a show in general, so stay tuned for that one. Again, if anything dramatic happens, we'll jump on and do a live show as we always do here. Be sure to subscribe, and hey, enjoy the weekend. We're like literally a week away today from Eagles-Cowboys. Refocus yourself. Thumbs up the video. We'll talk to you guys in the next one. See ya.